Now I never knew that this day would come, I mean not at least this quick, but I have to admit that as an Android fan, the iPhone 17 is a better value for money phone than the Samsung S25 currently. Yep, you heard that right. Don't believe me? Well, let's try to understand. Now what do you need in a phone that costs around 70 to 80,000 rupees, practically, in general? Like I'm not talking about playing BGMI for hours or testing CPU benchmarks etc. Like for day-to-day real-life usage for most people. Great build quality, great display, great performance and battery, great software and of course great cameras. These 5 things. So we are gonna start with the cameras first. Now the Samsung S25 uses the same triple camera setup that's the same being used since the Samsung S23. That's a 50 megapixel main camera with a 12 megapixel ultra-wide, a 10 megapixel 3x telephoto lens and a 12 megapixel front camera. Whereas the iPhone uses a 48 megapixel main camera along with a new 48 megapixel ultra-wide angle camera and also a new 18 megapixel front camera which uses a square sensor, meaning you can now shoot landscape shots like these without even tilting your phone, which is going to be really helpful for any vloggers or even taking group selfies. So in the front camera department the iPhone easily wins. Yes, the Samsung S25 also has good front camera, but I think for most people this new implementation of front camera with an even better sensor would make more sense. And apart from the front camera difference, the rear cameras on both in photography, at least in good lighting condition, is pretty competitive. Like yes, the Samsung takes cooler and the iPhone takes warmer photos as usual, with shadows uplifted on the Samsung and the iPhone has more contrast in it. It's like they're trying to be opposite, but the ultra wide angle camera is better on this iPhone 17, which has more details in the photos, be it in good light or low light, and a bit more wider. And the main camera also takes 24 megapixel shots by default as compared to 12 megapixel shots on the S25, so more details in the photos would be found there also. The normal portraits are good on both. Sometimes you might like the iPhone's one and sometimes the Samsung, but the Samsung has an edge with a 10 megapixel 3x telephoto lens, so for optical portraits the Samsung S25 is the way to go, or even if you are into zooming photos. But be it in videography, especially at low lighting scenarios, the iPhone takes the lead, and even in photos the iPhone mostly takes better low light shots. So Samsung's main goal next year should be to at least change the sensors or make the low light image processing much better than what it is now. Now software wise it is pretty much the same debate. If you want a bit more refined and classy software, then you will like the iOS, and with the new liquid glass implementation it feels more classy with some customizations available now, and the iPhone 17 as usual will get around 6 years of updates easily. But yes, it misses out on good AI features. Like yes, there are some, but not as good and refined as the Samsung or basically the Google ones. But if you like to play around with your phone and love customizing it, basically being able to change whatever and however you like, then One UI is one of the best Android skins out there, and I'd like to place it just below the Pixel UI. It's smooth and polished with hell lots of customizations and more and much better AI features than in iOS as of now. And this will also get another 6 years worth of upgrades, even though it was promised 7 years, but it is almost an year old now. Now in terms of performance, none of them are a slouch. The Samsung S25 is powered by this year's flagship, the Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is already more than enough powerful for any task, and the iPhone 17 uses the latest Apple A19 processor. But if you're into heavy gaming and want a bit more stability, then the iPhone 17 would be a better choice for you. Not saying you can't do that on the Samsung S25, but the games are usually more optimized on iOS than in Android, so this will have that edge. Both of them comes with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of base storage. Yes, the S25 was later released with 128GB of UFS 3.1 storage, but for this comparison with the pricing in the mind, the 256GB with UFS 4.0 storage makes more sense. But with great performance, you also need great battery life. But yeah, none of them would give you a great battery life. It's good for most people, but yes, the iPhone 17 is currently giving better battery life, even though it comes with a smaller 3692 mAh battery as compared to a 4000 mAh battery on the S25. But still it is giving better battery life. But yes, the S25 wasn't this behind before. It's just a bad effect of the One UI 8 update, and hopefully Samsung fixes it soon, even though the iPhone 17 users were also facing some battery drain issues after the iOS 26 update. And also now the iPhone 17 charges faster, which isn't officially mentioned anywhere, but it charges around 30 to 35 watts wired and also uses a Qi 2 protocol for wireless charging, which charges at around 25 watts, which is the wired charging limit of the Samsung S25 with a 15 watts Qi 2 wireless charging. Overall, in both performance and battery life, the iPhone 17 is winning currently. But yes, the Type-C port on the iPhone 17 is still the old USB 2.0 one as compared to a much faster USB 3.2 Type-C port on the Samsung S25. So for data transfers via USB would be blazing fast on the S25 and super slow on the iPhone 17. And after years of ranting, Apple finally gives the base iPhone 17 and 120Hz LTPO display, which is a bigger 6.3-inch one now with around 1.2K in resolution with a 460 ppi in sharpness, with a ceramic shield to display protection which now has an anti-reflective coating. Yes, not as good as the Samsung S24 or the S25 Ultra, but at least it has, which the Samsung S25 doesn't. Also with a brighter 3000 nits in peak brightness and with much more slimmer bezels than the Samsung S25. The Samsung S25 has a 6.2-inch Full HD Plus 120Hz LTPO display with a 416 ppi in sharpness with Gorilla Glass Victus 2 display protection and with a peak 2600 nits in peak brightness. So if you wanted a sharper, brighter and a display with slight better HDR processing, then get the iPhone 17. But if you don't like that notch and want a bit more colorful display, then get the Samsung S25. Either ways, both has really good displays, but when compared, the iPhone 17 gets most of the basics right this time. Now all of this will go to waste if you don't have a durable phone, right? Well, both of them gives you excellent durability, where the S25 is protected by the Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the back, also with an Armor Aluminum 2 side frame, and the iPhone 17 uses the same but upgraded ceramic shield to glass protection with an aluminum side frame, and also both has IP68 rating, but the iPhone can be submerged even deeper into the water as compared to any other Android phone with the same rating. And the design and color choice is subjective, so let me know which of these you prefer more. And yes, the iPhone 17 has 2 extra buttons, which is the action button for the quick accessibility functions and the camera button for cameras. Overall, for around 70 to 80,000 rupees as of now, the iPhone 17 seems like a better deal and has done most of its homework correctly this year. You might argue that the iPhone 17's main competitor isn't the Samsung S25, rather it's the Samsung S26. But it is still months to come, and also the rumors suggest that apart from the chipset, the display and slight design upgrade, it's mostly going to be the same. And worst case scenarios, it might come to India with the Exynos 2600, which is still in doubts, but it might just happen. So what do you think? Do let me know. And watch this video to know my 10 days review of the Samsung S24, or this one to know the main differences between the Samsung S25 and the S24, if there's any. So yeah, as always, till the next one, this was Rideep. See you guys.